Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. I am. And today I want to share with you something that is quite significant in my life. 25 years ago, in 1997, on this very day, the 12th of June, my mother, Margaret Wanzuu Odhiambo, was buried. It was a tough time for us, all those who knew her, because we did grieve her loss, and we knew that we would miss her presence amongst us. As a mother, yes, to those of us who are children physically, biologically, and also those of us who had related to her as a mother, as a mentor, maybe because she was there to just guide us psychologically, socially, and maybe even help out economically. I know there are many of you who are out there who can relate to her as a mother too. So today I just thought of pausing and recalling her memories, celebrating her life, yes, for sure, and also just being grateful that I had the honor and the privilege and the gift of having a mother such as her. The grieving of my mother on this day was particularly difficult because of the way in which she had died. 4 days prior to her burial, on the 8th of June, she had been killed by my dad. It was an incident of domestic violence, something that I had witnessed, and so had my siblings, and maybe even many of our neighbors had witnessed in our family several times. This particular time, it costed my mother's life. And it would have been tragic for us, for many of us, were it not for the grace of God that intervened that day. And my siblings and I pronounced that Margaret Wanzuu Foundation was starting. So today is also the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of Margaret Wanzuu Foundation, which was a foundation that was started in the name of my mother, mainly to give us the opportunity to focus on the things in her life that we could celebrate, as opposed to allowing ourselves to be drawn down by the negative energy that resulted to her death. And so today is the 25th anniversary for this vehicle that we decided to board to speak about domestic violence, in the hope that as we do that, the awareness created would prevent other people from suffering the consequences of domestic violence that we did suffer on that day. As I acknowledge my mother and be very grateful for her and how she impacted on my life, I also just want to pause to acknowledge all my siblings, my biological siblings and the non-biological ones who have been there to bear this torch, to carry the torch of the Margaret Wanzuu Foundation that continues to work amongst the people of Nyakach in the rural village of Kanyamdori, where my mother was married and buried, and also in other parts of the world where other people are also saying no to domestic violence in their own individual and collective ways. I also just want to say that my heart reaches out to all those who are hurting, because of domestic violence, either as victims, and yes, those are many, and it is a sad state of affairs when the very place that you call home, which should be a safe place, it's probably the place that is least safe for you. My heart goes out to you in a special way today. I also find myself grieving for my father too, for the days that he spent, yes, living as a perpetuator of domestic violence. In retrospect, I know that he was a suffering man, because it is hurt people who hurt people. He has also since died, and may God rest his soul in peace. It is difficult to even begin to say what it is that I want to do about this day. For 25 years, we have set out to do some things. And I want to acknowledge my brother, Kennedy Otieno, who continues to actively work in this Margaret Wanzuu Foundation as he works with boys and men to establish a way of helping them deal with whatever it is that would tend to get them to be violent. Thank you, Ken. But today I just wanted to pause and acknowledge that this is the day that Mom was buried, and this is the day that Margaret Wanzuu Foundation was conceptualized. The work continues, Anuta continua, in different ways, because domestic violence still exists in the world, and it is perpetuated by the internal violence that we have inside us. It is perpetuated by the conflicts, the intrapersonal conflict that we have with each other, especially with our loved ones. It is perpetuated by the conflict that we see in our communities, in our societies, in the world in general. So today I'm just pausing to acknowledge that, and to say that my heart goes out to all those who are suffering from the consequences of violence. Moving forward, may we live peaceful lives. May we have a peaceful day. Bye for now.